Okay, I don't know whether perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna start now. I just want to see the chat. Perfect. Okay. So let's get started. Just to introduce myself, my name is Mayy Elhayawi. I'm the e-learning and accessibility director at TESOL Wonderland. And I'm also associate professor of English literature. I currently live in Canada, but I worked and taught at different parts of the world, including Kuwait. I taught at the American University of the Middle East and in different places around the world. And I've been training teachers and senior executives for around 25 years. Let's get started. So the main points that we are going to cover in this workshop are how to move from explaining to enabling, using educational technology, how to move from clicking and reading courses to playing and practice, how to use authoring tools and video creation tools, and how to apply universal design for learning guidelines on your course design, course development, whether it's going to be synchronous or asynchronous. And we're going to apply all that on an example, which is a TESOL qualification, which is gamified from start to end. So I'm going to start with from explaining to enabling. So how do you think about yourself? Are you an explainer, an involver, or an enabler as a teacher? And to know the differences, I'm going to show you now a video that explains the differences between those three types of teachers. So while watching the video, please think about your own teaching style, how your students respond to your teaching, and think whether you are an explainer, involver, or enabler. So let's watch, and please let me know if you have any problem with the voice.
What should you learn to be a great teacher? To help you answer that question, let's see what type of teacher you would like to be. In his book Learning Teaching, Jim Scribner categorized teachers into three types: the explainer, the involver, and the enabler. The explainer is a teacher who knows the subject well, yet does not use a variety of teaching methods. He or she depends mainly on lecturing to help students understand the content. In an explainer's class, students will be passively listening, taking notes, and responding to the questions they might be asked during the lesson. The involver, on the other hand, uses a variety of activities to involve the students. He or she knows the subject matter and how to use proper teaching methods and techniques to help the students enhance their skills. However, the involver is always in control of everything going in class. Students do not participate in taking decisions. The third type of teachers is the enabler. This is the kind of teacher who is confident not only about his mastery of the subject matter and teaching methodologies, but also about sharing control with the students. An enabler manages to plan lessons thoroughly to provide all possible opportunities for autonomous learning. Students share in taking decisions and get accustomed to learning by themselves within and beyond the classroom. The enabler manages to hide and teach. So, which type of teacher would you like to be?
So which type of teacher would you like to be? Or which type of teacher are you if you're already an experienced teacher? Let us know in the chat.
Enabler.
Enabler, excellent. Perfect. So why do you think of yourself as an enabler?
To train, to guide, not to be only the only source of information, to teach them how to fish.
Hey, nice one.
Excellent.
Nice one.
Perfect.
No,
So
you buy something? Hey.
okay, so
Fish.
Okay, can you mute yourself if you're not commenting?
Oh, well, it's so fun. I hope they are fresh as they.
Okay, Dr. May, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So the concept is, in order to be an enabler, you need to learn how to hide and teach. So an enabler can create a friendly learning atmosphere where there is competition, collaboration, motivation, and enjoyment. And if you thought about the best learning experience that you've ever had as a teacher or as a student, it would be something like a situation in which you felt that your students are enjoying your class, that they are collaborating, motivated to continue learning. Or as a student, the most memorable experiences are the ones in which we felt that we're enjoying the learning experience. We were doing something, collaborating with others on a project that we liked. These are the most memorable experiences. In those experiences, the teacher is not the focus of the class. He's hiding while autonomous learning is going on, and this is the best learning experience that we enjoy, either as teachers or as students. It's when we move from the boredom of chalk and talk to sheer fun, to enjoying what we're doing. In all the presentations in this conference, we talked about how educational technology and the sudden chaotic move to online education was a source of anxiety, and still for many. So educational technology is great, but how can it be utilized for us to continue as enablers rather than just delivering lectures that do not actually engage students or keep them motivated to learn? So technology has been gradually moving from the periphery to the center of education, yet it was only in 2020 that technology had to suddenly leap to the forefront of education. And because people around the world were unprepared for such an unforeseen shift, so educators had to quickly adapt course content to an online format that depended mostly on non-interactive teaching materials. So they either pre-recorded courses or lectures, uploaded notes, PDF files, PowerPoint presentations on an LMS, and this was the entire educational experience that students had. And I'm going to give you an example of how that looked like. So this is, for instance, one of the sample lessons that is available on Canadian College of Educators. And it should be teaching teachers how to teach grammar. And it gives them kind of foundation on parts of speech and tenses. And this is how the lesson looks like. So we have like listing of verbs, pronouns, adjectives, verb tenses with different forms, sentence structure, and this is the lesson. So this is supposedly an online class or an online course where teachers are going to be trained to teach English language. So for any person, whether a teacher or not a teacher, it's only reading, it's click and read. And even other courses that include just text, a video, and that's it, are also as boring, let's say, as this kind of PDF file that includes nothing but text. It doesn't allow students to practice, to see real examples. And at the end, we're using this to teach teachers how to become great teachers, which is it's quite frustrating, actually. So how can we move from this sample that I've just shown, the click and read sample, to play and practice? So let's talk about gamification. So the term gamification has been defined as the use of game design elements in non-game context, or the phenomenon of creating gameful experiences, or the process of making activities more game-like. And the reason why people thought about gamification was that the popularity of games, the effort that people exert in games, and the time that they can invest while playing games was quite motivating to educators to think, okay, so how can I create those kinds of conditions that will motivate learners to exert the same effort, to invest the same time without feeling bored, without feeling that they don't want to continue, they're not motivated to continue. So that is when the whole idea of gamification in education started. So to gamify means to take elements from games and integrate them into instruction to enhance engagement and motivation. And we do that because learners who play, practice, and have fun are actively engaged in the learning process. They enjoy what they are doing, so they learn, they do, and they remember. This is the whole process of learning. They have better retention and recall of content than learners who are made to suffer through boring, static, click and read content. So it's quite different. So to talk about gamification, let's think about this game that we're familiar with because of the movies on it's Jumanji. And let's use this to think about the elements of gamification. So what are the elements that can help us create a game? Can you write in the chat or tell me out loud because I cannot see the chat for a certain reason?
Like animals, you mean the animals as the main players?
Excellent. So we have avatars. Perfect. What other elements?
We
Even
have
not
different roads, different paths.
Excellent.
Yeah, we have a starting point and ending point. I'm giving you feedback of F&B.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Okay, others? Sorry?
Perfect.
It has a purpose and end product. Yeah, it has a purpose and destination. Any other points? It has a competition, which is something might be motivating for the students.
Exactly. Perfect. So yes, exactly what you said. These are some of the elements. So we have clear objectives. Learners know, or the players know what they should achieve. There are certain rules that they have to follow, and those rules are quite clear. There is competition, as you said. There is cooperation in some games. Of course, not all of those elements are going to be in each and every game, but let's say most of them. There are points, avatars, like the animals that they can use to play. There are levels, leaderboards, chance, risk, ethics, and that's why we have those, colorful photos and names. There are stories, characters, conflict, mysteries, feedback. When they do something, there is always feedback. You did that wrong, that you didn't do that well, so you have to go to another level, you have to go back, and so on. And these are the elements that can gamify our learning experiences and turn them into something more motivating and more engaging. So there are two types of gamification that we need to think about, and the choice is going to depend on our learning goals. So gamification needs to be done for a certain reason. It's not just to gamify. So there are two types, the content gamification versus structural gamification. So the content gamification, so in this case, we're not actually creating an entire game. We add the common elements of games like the story, the challenge, curiosity, mystery, characters to information or material that needs to be learned or understood. So for instance, I want to teach mathematical concept. So I can plan a game where students have to search for certain clues in order to solve a certain problem. And these clues can be scattered in class, can be scattered online somewhere. So I create that game, so I gamify the content itself. The second type is the structural gamification. And this is, the content stays the same, yet we add the game elements. For instance, if a student finishes a certain chapter, they are awarded a badge or certain points, so for them to be motivated to proceed with the material. And this is what we call structural gamification. So how can we apply, how can we utilize course authoring and video creation tools to gamify our content, to make sure that it's engaging, motivating, whether it's content gamification or structural gamification? Firstly, let's talk about authoring tools. So e-lessons are a linear sequence of interactive screens that incorporate text, audio visuals, knowledge checks, surveying questions, quizzes, feedback, branching scenarios. So it gives us plenty of tools that we can use to create self-paced courses or blended courses. So it can be, for instance, I can create a part of my course online for students to access whenever they want. And at the same time, I can be delivering part synchronously, whether in class, in person, or in virtual classes as such. In all cases, using those e-learning tools or authoring tools enable educators to develop content that facilitates learner content, learner instructor, and learner interaction. I'm going to show you now some of those samples, but let's see the benefits first, and then we're going to see several samples of those authoring tools I'm talking about. So when using those authoring tools to create self-paced courses, your students can engage with the content anywhere, anytime. So there are no time or location restrictions. You can have a video, you can have audio, you can have a game. So you can cater for different learning styles. Of course, if the course is well designed, this can make learning more interactive, motivating, and enjoyable. If you create those authoring tools rather than creating the course on an LMS directly, you create a package. We call this a scoring package, and this can be easily moved from one LMS to the other. So for instance, I'm using Moodle, but I'm no longer satisfied with what Moodle offers. I can take the scoring package as a whole and place it on another LMS without the hassle of building the entire course from scratch. Using those authoring tools gives you also multiple opportunities for monitoring and tracking student progress. So you can see when students actually access your course, which question, for instance, was difficult for the majority of your students, and so on. So we're going to start with this authoring tool, which is the most popular authoring tool in the world nowadays. It's called Articulate 360. There are also other options like iSpring, Adobe Captivate, but this one is the most popular because it offers different tools. So this is how it looks like. This is the suite of Articulate 360. The most popular tools for creating courses are Storyline 360 and Rise 360. And let me show you how Rise looks like. So this is Rise. You can easily create a blank course or use a template to create a course. So for instance, if I want to create a course on leadership, I can simply select this one. I can select this course. And here I have a course that has 8 lessons. And I can edit the content to create my course in no time. So you can have videos, flip cards, quotations, points. This is one of the authoring tools that can help you create things very easily. Also, it's adaptable. So as you can see here, it can be viewed on a tablet. And you don't need to care about how it looks because it's automatically adaptable to different devices. They also have around 7 million images and customizable site templates, which makes it quite easy for you to get photos, to find different characters. So it makes the creation of courses much easier than even what we do with PowerPoint or other, any Word or PDF files. If we connect those authoring tools, like the one I've just shown you, with video creation tools like Photoon, for instance, we create learning experiences that are more animated, more engaging. And I'm going to give you an example now. So this is, for instance, here, this is the background that Rise gives you. This is the default background for this scenario. Here, by adding this background, which was created using a tool called Beyond, it becomes more animated. So, for instance, if you want to create a unit about a certain theme, you can create your own background, and it's going to be it will make the course more visually appealing. This is another example where Storyline, which is another course creation tool, is combined with Beyond. So this is a course on, or an exercise on business etiquette in Japan. So let's see how this one is designed, and let me know whether you think that it's engaging or not.
Let's see how much you know about do's and don'ts in Japan business meetings. Tom and Kate have been selected by their company to negotiate a contract with a Japanese company. It's their first time in Japan. Can you help them avoid any cultural misunderstandings and get their mission accomplished? Let's start now. After greeting Mr. Kim, what should Kate and Tom do?
So we have 2 characters who are supposedly attending a business meeting to negotiate a certain contract in Japan, and we need to help them avoid any miscommunications. So here, the student needs to check to select the right answer. So for instance, after greeting, what should they do? Sit far, sit anywhere they like, or wait until shown where to sit. If they select that, it gives them an animated feedback. Like, okay, if we go next.
Mr. Kim is giving Kate his business card. What should she do with it?
So again, what should she do with the business card? Take it with one hand and put it on the table, read it and put it in her purse. If we check this, for instance, let's see. This is not the right answer, because in Japan, she should take it with both hands, read it, and put it in a card holder. This is the right answer. So in this exercise, we're using a video creation tool, which is Beyond, along with with storyline 360 to create this kind of activity. So students can feel more engaged when they see characters. We're also creating a story. They're helping two business people on their trip to Japan. So the element of the story makes it more memorable and more engaging. Photon itself, if we look at Photon, this is the tool. So if you want to create, this is the video creation tool. If you want to create, for instance, a presentation, it gives you lots of templates that you can use automatically. And if you want to create a blank font, you can even use a PowerPoint to create your own presentation. If we create one of this, it gives you plenty of characters, resources. As you can see here, for instance, you can choose characters. So I can create my characters, or I can, for instance, I can add this character, and you have plenty of props, music, scenes, everything that you want to create animated videos. Another video creation tool is Beyond, which is also very interesting. So for instance, you can choose any background that you want. It can be a location. So for instance, I can choose this background. I can choose whatever character that I want, someone who's casually dressed, let's say, and I can create stories, conversations, people, a teacher explaining a concept. You have ready-made templates, and you can create your own templates. You can even change the character. So if I want, for instance, to change this character, I can change the color, the way they are dressed. So here you can see, I can change the way she looks like. Anything, her hair, her eyes, her eyebrows. So you can create whatever character that you like in this video creation tool. So now we know that there are certain video creation and authoring tools that you can utilize, but let's think about how accessible this experience is going to be for your learners. So let's talk about universal design for learning. And let me quote Thomas Tobin when he said, though accessibility has been legally enforced to guarantee social equality and justice, several studies have found that the university professionals' response to students' requests for accommodation have been uniformly negative. So we're still unable to accommodate special needs of students, and we're still stuck in this road from ableism to access. So this one is, this photo is quite popular. How we should be moving from ableism and exclusion. As you can see here, the one who has the advantage and the others do not have any advantage. When we offered the same kind of resources for everyone, still there is one who is not actually enjoying the game. In equity or accessibility, which is most popular or has been very popular, we offer the one who needs help. We offer more resources, but still we haven't yet reached access or inclusion when there are no barriers to the experience of learning, to the learning experience. And this is what we mean by universal design for learning. So if we want to see universal design for learning, this is, for instance, part of our TESOL qualification, talking about universal design for learning. So,
welcome to the UDL territory in your TEFL Wonderland adventure. When Jack told me about his problems, I introduced him to my friend, Emmy. She is a speech-language pathologist After struggling for many years to cater for the diverse needs, abilities, and preferences of her students through modifying teaching material.
So here, the student is, or the teacher watches a story about a teacher who has difficulty in catering for her students' needs, and they meet an expert who tells them about the UDL guidelines, engagement, the main guidelines, which are engagement, representation.
To clarify the UDL guidelines,
and action and expression. And let me show you the guidelines. These are the guidelines that should help designers, teachers, educators create create materials that can be accessed by anybody, no matter how different their abilities, their backgrounds, their learning needs are. Let's see now the gamification in action. So we're gonna see the first gamified TESOL qualification in the world, which is created by TESOL London. I'm gonna show you a video, and then I'm gonna show you the course in more detail.
Hello, and welcome to TEFL Wonderland. If you want to get a regulated TESOL qualification that is recognized worldwide and can help you find teaching jobs in any part of the world, you should explore the first Gamify qualifications in the world, which are regulated by the Office of Examinations in UK and accredited by CPD UK and Gatehouse Awards.
In this unique learning expedition, you will visit different zones, teach real students while being observed and guided by a TESOL expert. You will play games, watch animated videos, pass checkpoints, and collect badges that you can use in enrolling in new courses. In TEFL Wonderland, you will learn how to become a great teacher, how to cater for all your learners' needs, and how to utilize educational technology.
A team of university professors and TEFL experts will provide you with all the support you need to get TESOL certified and land your dream job.
So, in order to gamify this learning adventure, this is the learning route. It's so the teacher gets into TEFL Wonderland, and he has to proceed with his learning journey from the TEFL circus to the world of colors to the TEFL zoo. And in each of those, in each zone, he has to pass, or they have to pass certain territories. Each territory is followed by a quiz or a checkpoint that they have to pass in order to proceed to the next zone and get finally qualified, receive their OPWA regulated qualification. So, for instance, in this theme part, here are the zones, here are the territories that they have to pass. So teaching online classes, teaching business English, young learners, test preparation classes. Every achievement in TEFL Wonderland is rewarded, so they collect points and badges as they proceed for passing quizzes, for submitting assignments, and they can utilize those points in buying new courses, or they can gift them to enroll in new courses. So to give them to a friend to enroll in a course. So they feel that they are rewarded and everything is for a reason. So the way it starts, so they start here with the learning journey, and this is the navigation guide that they have. So it tells them exactly how to use the accessibility icon, for instance. The rules of the game are set clearly here. And this is how it looks like from inside. So from the very beginning, the theme is set through the image of TEFL Wonderland, and here is the course menu. If they get to any territory, for instance, like this one, So it opens this form package like the UDL that I've just started. We have a specific territory on teaching students with special needs. So this is how the course looks like from inside. So we have scenarios, as you can see, there is audio for every, to make it more accessible. So there is an audio guide for every text, a script for every video. We use presentations as such, which are quite colorful and engaging. Games, so for instance, this is to identify physical needs or different types of special needs. We have third-party videos that to give different viewpoints. So instead of giving them just a PDF and telling them this is how you teach, we give them an experience that utilizes advanced educational technology. So they learn how to practice what they teach. This is the main aim of this qualification. We also cater for teachers with special needs, and this is very important. So that is why we have this audio added, the video scripts. We created even a special version of the course for visually impaired teachers. And I'm gonna show you, this is our one of our students who applied to get a certain qualification, the very famous one. And this is what she received because she's visually impaired. So she said, this is exactly what she was sent when they refused to enroll her in the course. After waiting for like 1.5 months, they told her you're gonna be enrolled. And finally, they decided not to enroll her because she was visually impaired. So we are, actually, she's our consultant now for accessibility, specifically for visually impaired teachers. And this is, she's graduating from the course in 1 week. She only has one assignment left. And this is her feedback, that she has an MA in TESOL from the American University in Cairo. And when she took the course, we tried to accommodate all her needs because we created something that we thought is very accessible, but for screen readers, there were certain issues that we need to solve as well. So dealing with the students who have special needs and how teachers can identify and specifically with very common special needs like autism and ADHD. So this is something that we try to incorporate. Also to comply with UDL guidelines, we try to make the content culturally appropriate for any country to respect the background, attitudes, beliefs, and values of different cultures. And that is part of complying with UDL guidelines when designing an e-learning experience. To make sure that we also have the teaching practice, that teachers are not gonna only go through a self-paced course. So we created teaching practice sessions, 20 hours, where we also focus on educational technology. So for instance, they learn how to utilize Beyond, how to utilize Photon to create videos, animated videos, how to use LMS efficiently. We also, a part of their assignments is to submit video resumes, teaching demos, just to prepare them for the job market. So the whole learning experience is actually beneficial for them as teachers. We offer support. This is as we said in gamification, there should be feedback, and that is why we offer premium support. So we try to communicate with them in different ways, not only platform like ticketing platform, but we have video conferencing, video phone calls to offer support. And finally, this is the course evaluation that shows that gamification makes a huge difference when it's done correctly. So this is a student who graduated from the course, and this is the most important thing, that he has never studied with such an enthusiasm and interest as with TESOL Wonderland. Another student said, the course is a colorful, joyful experience, unlike monotonous courses full of reading material and long lectures. And this is, by the way, from Kuwait. Another review of the course, and this is the last one. Again, this is a teacher from Armenia talking about how the course was helpful, how quizzes make the overall process more enjoyable and stress-free. So students practice in the course, and then when they go to pass the quiz, they have already seen that before. So it's they are ready to take risks. At the same time, they feel more motivated, and they feel at ease. They are not stressed, and it improves knowledge retention for sure when they see the things that they revise again in the final quizzes. So just to sum up, to create unique learning experiences, firstly, we need to use several methods for engaging students. We need to present the content in multiple ways, provide students with different opportunities for expressing their understanding for different types of assignments. So it's not only a written assignment, it can be a video assignment, it can be a quiz, several ways of expressing what they have learned. And finally, it's great if you can utilize authoring tools and video creation tools to help your students achieve their learning goals. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mayy. It was great. Thank you for sharing all these nice programs. And I hope this has